This is VRR, and you are listening to the Virtual Robots Revolt podcast.
Hey, it's Billy. Thanks for tuning in today. I have a great show lined up. I have a lot of notes I just wrote down a few minutes ago. And let's just go ahead and get it started. The first thing I want to bring up is I have a brand new website that I created using WordPress, of course. And this website, it's actually not going to be something where it's like, hey, look at me, I'm so great. No. Actually, the whole point of the website is to be like a new guide for tech enthusiasts out there, as well as video gamers and retro gamers alike. One of my inspirations was the racketboy.com website. That's a really awesome website. I really love it, and I still go to it every once in a while. But the problem with that website is I don't think it's even been updated since like 2011 or 2010 or something. So some of their guides are completely and totally outdated, especially when they listed any like prices or anything for what things went for on eBay in the aftermarket. Those are kind of funny to see, like a look back in time. But anyway, so that was one of my inspirations, and I just want to make a more recent version of it, maybe elaborate onto it, do something even better, or maybe not better, but something different. So if you can, visit my website at virtualrobotsrevolt.com. I hope to have some new stuff up there very soon. Right now it's very bare bones at the time that I'm recording this podcast, but hopefully within just a few days or a few weeks, hope to have a lot more new stuff up there. And if you would like to write anything for the website, whether it's buying guides, reviews, or even just suggestions on what you think I should do with it, feel free to send me an email at virtualrobotsrevolt@gmail.com, or you can tweet at me at virtualrobotsr, so twitter.com/virtualrobotsr. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/virtualrobotsrevolt, and YouTube, of course, youtube.com/virtualrobotsrevolt. I do need to get on like Instagram and Snapchat, I guess, too, but I guess I'm in Pinterest maybe, but I'm slightly, I'm not a child anymore. I'm not completely up to date on what's the newest trend in terms of social media. For kids, at least. I'm very up to date on social media for people around my age and older. So, but anyway, So what else I want to talk about in the show? I'll just give a brief overview for right now. I want to talk about Steam sales, of course. The new Steam summer sale is going on right now. Sort of brush on game fatigue, and then I'll also lead me right into projects that I'm working on currently, such as like a virtual pinball table, my bartop cabinet, retropie stuff, new PSVR games I've been playing, and even some new things that I've been doing on the internet that people might be interested in, and even some collecting thoughts right now I think that's going on currently. So let's move on. So Steam sales. Oh, well, first, before I discuss Steam sales, I just got a new microphone. It's a blue Snowball. Basically it looks like it's like a ball microphone on like a tiny little tripod on my desk, and I have a little guard in front of it to help with some of that popping noise you might have been hearing in previous podcasts. Previous podcasts have been recording with like a terrible Jabra headset, but now I have a new microphone, and it should be a lot better now. Hopefully I'll be using it for everything. Even says it works on Skype, so maybe I'll use it with Skype. So that might be why I sound a little better, but also it might be why you hear the sound of my mouse clicks a little bit more, just because it's a more powerful microphone. So if you hear me clicking around, I'm going to be clicking around a lot in this segment. That's why. It's because I have a new microphone and it's more powerful. But anyway, so let's move on to Steam sales. So I I paid attention to this very much so, and I tuned into it as soon as it started. I saw the rumors for it, the day before, and was getting prepared for it. Just basically just looking out for it. And it started June 22nd, which is just a couple days ago. Right, today's the 24th of June, 2017. So it's been going on since June 22nd, and it goes on through July 5th. There's about 4 Steam summer sales. There's about 4 Steam sales a year, for each of the 4 seasons. And yeah, they're all really good. I think like the biggest ones are the fall and winter sales, but when I say big, I mean like it has even more games. I don't necessarily believe, from what I've seen the past year or two that I've been buying PC games, it doesn't look like the prices get crazier. It just seems like there's more games on sale. I think that's what I mean in terms of big, and even in terms of length. And actually, I think in those other, the fall and winter sales, I think those are the ones that actually have like timed specials. So like if you buy this game within these certain amount of hours, it might be even cheaper. So there is that to consider. But I'll go into tips and tricks more later. So Steam sales. I'll just go ahead and start off. Why should you get a Steam account now? I actually do have some friends that are just completely retro gamers through and through. Some of them aren't even gamers at all. I probably have tons of friends that aren't gamers at all, but some friends actually are gamers, and those are the ones I'm talking to primarily. The ones that are gamers now, but just haven't gone into the newer generation of gaming. Even like if they've already gone into the new generation of console gaming, they haven't gone into the new generation, or they haven't even really gone into PC gaming, at least on Steam. And basically what Steam is, it's basically like iTunes, but it's for computer games. That's basically what Steam is. So it's like a DRM. So some people don't like the idea of like all your stuff being stored on one platform, kind of like an iTunes or something. But a lot of games don't require you have Steam in order to work. So there is that. But a lot of them I think do. But just something to consider. I've noticed, I think I downloaded Steam like over 10 years ago, and they're still around. Like they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They are here to stay. I think if they went away anytime soon, there would be like a complete riot for all the games that people have bought. So do not worry about your accounts going dry at any point. Steam is very much here to stay, and they just keep making crazy money all the time. I think Steam is here to stay as much as Windows is probably here to stay for the time being. For at least, I'll say this. I think Steam is at least going to be here for another 15, 20 years. I'll say that. Maybe not 20, maybe 15. But anyway, so why you should get a Steam account now. So I just kind of went over what Steam is. So why should you get a Steam account now? Well, it's free to set up, of course. And if you buy games through Steam as opposed to, buying them through, if you buy a PS4 game or a Nintendo DS game or PS Vita game or Xbox One game, well, actually now consoles have kind of caught up to that a bit, but in the past at least, if you bought a game for one of those consoles, you might be upgrading your hardware in a few years, and then the only way for you to play those old games is to break out that old, dusty, crappy old system with the terrible controller, whatever it is, to be able to play that game again. Versus if you bought that game on PC or a Mac or whatever, your hardware moves along with it. So you still have your games, but now you can play them on even better hardware with your new controllers or whatever you have. So you're basically future-proofing your collection by getting them on PC as opposed to on console. Now, Xbox One, for example, has been catching up to this now with the new edition of the Xbox One X. It's actually upgrading your old Xbox One games to run in like 60 frames per second at 4K or 1080p Super or something. But in the past that hasn't been the case, and even PS4 Pro is kind of doing a little bit of that themselves, but it's by no means perfect. I've even heard reports that if you bought like the new Destiny 2 game, apparently, and don't quote me on this perfectly, I forgot exactly which game this was being mentioned, but apparently the game is locked at 30 frames a second if you buy it on console. Even if you get the Xbox One X that can handle 60 frames per second, it's locked on console, but if you get on PC, it's unlocked. So that means you can run it to its max capabilities. And if they didn't have that in there, then modders would easily go in there and change it for you. Now on console, it's a lot more tricky, and there's a lot more shady stuff going on in consoles, in the console scene as well, in terms of trying the two major companies, PlayStation and Xbox, competing against each other. Even Nintendo kind of screws things up here and there with forcing these third parties to release games only for their console with only these parameters, versus if it's ever released on PC, they're not going to care. They're just going to unlock it for everyone pretty much. So anyway, so that's kind of the one of the benefits of buying it on PC versus console. It's a lot less of that corporate crap going into it, and you're future-proofing your collection. Right now, your older computers can even run lots and lots of Steam games. I love going to garage sales and buying like old Chrome netbooks, and Chrome or netbooks, and I've even found a lot of those computers can run tons of Steam games. For example, I just got a new/old computer donated to me, and it can run tons of Virtual Pinball games. And this computer is probably over 10 years old, and it can run tons of Virtual Pinball games that I just recently purchased. This old Chromebook that I got from a garage sale, or netbook or whatever it is, it's running Windows 7. That can run tons of old DOSBox games, like a lot of the old Star Wars games like Dark Forces and Quake and other old retro games. Like, you can run tons of those. So even if you have an old computer, I still highly recommend getting a Steam account and following through with the Steam sale. So you can play tons of Steam games. I mean, because when I say the Steam summer sale is happening, I mean it's everything from the original Half-Life to King's Quest to the newest version of Doom or the newest Grand Theft Auto game. Like, it's everything. It's absolutely everything. Another thing is, just do it, because right now you only have till July 5th to tune in. I'm not getting paid for this whatsoever by talking about Steam. They don't have an affiliate program, so let's just set that aside for now, or just so everyone knows, I'm not making money off this at all talking about Steam, hyping them up. They don't have an affiliate program, unfortunately, because I would be pimping the hell out of them right now if they did. I would be totally pimping them. You wouldn't hear me shut up about it. Yeah, I'm not even shutting up about it now, and I'm not getting paid for this whatsoever. I'm just trying to pass along good advice. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to pass good advice. There's tons of great games out there. I just got the whole a lot of the Fallout series. I got Fallout 3, New Vegas, and Fallout 4, and I'll go over the full list of what I got later. There's something for everyone on Steam. Everything from retro to new to pinball to hell, they even have some movies on there for sale. I mean, I don't think that's great of a deal, but still, there's everything. I already mentioned this, but it's here to stay. You only see improvements, and you're already missing out on some great deals if you wait too long and you get it after this, because some games might be on sale this Steam Summer Sale, but they might not be on sale in the fall or the winter or the spring or the other summer. Some games might be only on sale this time. So, check out and see if your favorite games are on sale. That's what I recommend, and then go from there. Now I have a list here of some of my favorite games here, or some of them I don't really care too much to play, but I listed a lot of games that I know that others are really interested in as well. So take that for what it is, and maybe we'll go over some prices on these. I don't want to just sound like a freaking like Toys R Us catalog right now by listing a whole bunch of prices, but I didn't write any prices down for right now, but I can look into them. I'll think about it, but let's see how much time I have left. But yeah, so I'll just count down the list of the best games I have listed. I had the Fallout series, the entire Fallout series. That's everything from the original Fallout. Well, not Wasteland, because Wasteland was on Apple II and Commodore. I believe Commodore, but I know it was on Apple II because I got that running on my Apple II later. I'll talk about more about the Apple II later, but basically the entire Fallout series is on sale right now. Pretty much the whole Half-Life series, including DLC, and that DLC is pretty much included for all these. That's on sale. The Portal series 1 and 2, you can get Portal. I'll go over this price. You can get Portal 1 and 2 for $2 and something cents. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. The whole Doom series, including the newest Doom. That's what I'll do. I'll go over some of the prices on some of the prices I remember. You can get the whole Doom series. You can get the original Doom for like $1 or something. You can get Doom, the newest version of Doom, which has gotten awesome reviews. In fact, that's the game I want to buy most right now that I didn't already buy. The newest Doom on PC is $14.99. Now, if you get it on console and stores, it's $20. But like I said, if you're future-proofing your software by getting it on PC. So I'll just go with that. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. I didn't really think too much of this game until I heard a recent podcast talk about it. But apparently it's hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay with this game. It's like a cool RPG, even for people that aren't into Lord of the Rings. But Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. It's only like $4 right now. Hundreds of hours. I heard nothing but good reviews about it. The whole Batman series, so the Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight. Well, I guess maybe not the whole Batman series, but the whole recent memory Batman series. Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight. I think even the Telltale series one, and they're like $5 a piece pretty much. Outlast. Apparently, it's kind of like Alien Isolation. That's like $2. There's even an Outlast 2. I think that's like $15 or so though. Alien Isolation is on sale again. That's on sale every sale now. But if you don't have Alien Isolation yet, get it, because it's one of my favorite games of the past 15 years or so. Pinball FX 2 and Pinball Arcade tables. And I haven't double checked Pinball Arcade, but I know it's on sale pretty much every time. I would have got tons of Pinball Arcade tables this time around as well, but I've been concentrating on Pinball FX 2 because I've been making a virtual pinball table out of it. In real life virtual pinball machine out of it. And I'll go over more of that later. And Stardew Valley, people are really interested in. It's kind of like Harvest Moon. It's like a retro style game. That's what everyone's been talking about. It's like $15 or so. It's only like $5 off, but I mean, if you're interested in Chrono Trigger type aesthetic with like Harvest Moon mechanics and so on and so forth, apparently you should get that game. Witcher 3 Game of the Year Edition. Everyone talks about that. I never played it, but everyone else likes it. That's on sale. I think it's like $15 or $20. The Division, I think that's like 60% off. I think it's like $20. Kerbal Space Program, that's apparently getting really popular, and that's on sale. I think it's like $20 or so. The Quake series, Quake is going to get a lot more popular because the newest Quake game's coming out, and those are like $1 a piece. I think Quake 3 Arena is like $5. Otherwise, I would have bought it, but that game's on the Dreamcast if you don't remember. But or at least one of the systems it was for was on the Dreamcast, and man, I had tons of fun with Quake 3 Arena back in the day. Tons of fun. Like I said, there's games for everyone on this platform, from like old Dreamcast games to newest games. Ikaruga, another Dreamcast game, also GameCube game, that's on sale for $5, normally 10. Psychonauts is 99 cents. 99 freaking cents right now. Prey, everyone's been talking about Prey. I don't think it's like too discounted, but I think it's like 20 or $30 or so. But apparently everyone talks about it. Rocket League is like $10. Dark Souls series, it's on sale a lot. Borderlands, of course, again. The BioShock series, that's another series I really want to rebuy. I had the first one, but it's not the remastered edition. These are the remastered editions that are on sale. So you can get BioShock 1 and 2 for like $6 a piece. You can even get like the whole trilogy that's like remastered. I think that's like 20 or so, or 15, something like that. I think it's maybe like 10 or 15. I'm thinking about it. The Hyperlight Drifter, apparently it's like a Zelda type game, but it like based with like indie graphics. Looks like in the future or something. I've heard good things. It's on sale for $10. Game Dev Tycoon. This game looked really interesting. I think it's like $1 or $2, maybe even $5, but it looked really interesting. One reason was that is because on the front of it, it actually had an old IBM PC on the front, and I think a newer PC as well. And from the looks of it, it kind of looked like Roller Coaster Tycoon, except you're like managing like a whole office on the how fast you can get a game out or something. It looked pretty interesting. I don't know if I'd ever play it, so I didn't get it, but Dave the Tentacle Remastered is on sale again. I think it's like $3. If you don't have it, you should probably get it. I got it on the for free on the Vita. I think it was like a PS Plus thing. If you're a member of PS Plus or Xbox Live Gold, like some of these games you already have for free, so just pay attention to that. But I need to play it more. I want to. Age of Empires 2 HD. Now, I've played Age of Empires 2 a good amount in college, but what I really played a lot was the original one, the Rise of Rome expansion. That's probably my most played PC game of all time. I used to play that in an old compact Presario on my first computer I connected to the internet in the late 90s. Man, tons of memories with that game. And tons of other games are on sale. I think I didn't mention earlier, but like the Fallout series, Fallout 3 and New Vegas, I think they're like $3 a piece, or two something dollars a piece. Fallout 4 is $15, and I finally bought that because I've just been wanting it a lot. I have it on Xbox One, but like I said, trying to future-proof my collection. And another nice thing about all these is, everyone likes to talk about, oh, the Nintendo Switch, now I can play like Skyrim on the go, or like all these like console games on the go, which is great, and that's great and all, and I understand it's a little bit more portable than my laptop, but I have a laptop, so you can't. You can't fit the Nintendo Switch in your pocket either. So I can't fit my laptop in my pocket, but I have a bag for it. It's not like I have to hook up a monitor to it or something. No, it's like a nice, not too big, not too small laptop. Plug in a controller and away I go. I can play all these games on the go. So that's another big reason for me wanting to buy games now, is I can play these games laying in bed, because I don't have my systems downstairs. They're upstairs. I would, sometimes I just want to chill on the couch and play some of these games, and I can remote play with this laptop, which is great, but sometimes the reception in my bedroom isn't so great, so it's nice to just have like the actual game on my computer, which is nice. But and there's tons of other games on sale. I will note this, and you've probably been paying attention. If you've been paying attention to PC games, you probably are familiar with this game. It's Friday the 13th. That is not on sale, and I wish it was. It's still $40. It's always been at $40, and that's what it's at right now. I recommend you should probably wait on that game, because a lot of people have reported problems with multiplayer, but people say once you do get into a room, It plays just fine, and there's a car with bass driving by. Anyway, so once you do get into an actual game, it plays just fine, but it's not on sale right now. And apparently this game is like, you're controlling either one of the people at the campsite or you're Jason himself, and you're trying to get away, and you sometimes have to work with other people in the game. And so it's not like a single player game. I think it's multiplayer only. I could be completely wrong about that, but it sounds like at least the best bang for the buck in the game is multiplayer. It sounds amazing, so I'll get it whenever it's on sale and it runs better. But for now, I'm definitely waiting on it because I got tons of games to play. But yeah, and I'll tell you some of the games that I got. So I got the Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4. I got Half-Life 1 and 2. I didn't get the ones with the DLC because I had to trim some costs somewhere because it was adding up, believe it or not. Portal 1 and 2 was like $2 something. And then I got a ton of Pinball FX2 tables, like a ton of them. So I only had the Alien vs Predator tables before, which is like 3 tables: Alien Isolation, Aliens, and Aliens vs Predator, and those are really fun. But I'm trying to build a virtual pinball machine now, and I'll go over that in a second. But basically, when you go through, to the main menu, there's going to be a whole. It doesn't just like pop up like a new table that you have. Like, no, it gives you the full list of all the tables, and if you don't have the table, it's grayed out. So that was kind of like the OCD in me, because I do have some OCD with some things. The OCD in me was really hating that, and I wanted to play a lot of those tables too. And I thought to myself, I'm gonna eventually want all these tables. Like, it's going to happen. So I thought to myself, you know what? There's a Steam summer sale coming up around the corner sometime. I wish I waited on the Alien tables, because that went from $10 to $4. So if you don't have those right now, I recommend them because they're a lot of fun. They're $4 right now for the Alien tables. But almost all the other tables, if you bought them individually, like they're like 74 cents a piece, pretty much. There's a couple tables that are a couple dollars. But if you buy them in packs, then it goes up to like $6 a piece or $10 a piece. There's like a Bethesda package of tables, and that's one of them, the newest Doom table, like the newest version of Doom themed table, Skyrim themed table, and a Fallout themed table. If you get that whole package, it's $10. But I want to say it was on sale for like $7 or something, so I got it because I already wanted to play it. That could be more on sale in the future, but right now it's $7 because it's brand new. Most of the other tables are super on sale. You're not going to beat those prices. So I spent almost $50 on Pinball FX2 tables. You might think I'm freaking crazy, but like when you actually have like a full virtual pinball table like built to look, I'm not going to build like an entire full size pinball machine, because I actually do have a real pinball machine. I have a Xenon pinball machine. I'm not going to build it that big, but I want it to be like big enough so that, or at least small enough so that it fits on my little Magnavox console I have right here. I want it to fit right on top of it next to my bartop retropie arcade machine. I would like that to be the situation. It might be a little bit bigger than that, but it's going to be badass with all of these tables on it. The only one that I really went back and forth on buying was the Marvel Women Power tables. I kid you not. It was some name like that. It was like $3, and I was like, man, I could get like an entire other game I could get for that price. And I don't know if I'm ever going to play these, but then when I was looking through it, I'm like, these look pretty neat, even though the name of it is kind of just, I'm not sexist or anything. It's just like, I don't know if I'm going to play these pinball tables. That's all it comes down to. But it came down to this. I'm pretty sure somebody else that plays on this table might want to play it. And when I was looking through the tables, some of them looked pretty fun. Even especially the Squirrel Girl table, because apparently I haven't read the comics on this, but apparently there's like an ongoing joke with like Squirrel Girl. Apparently she can like kill anyone in the Marvel universe. So that just sounded kind of funny to me. So I want to play that table. So that justified it to me. But yeah, so those are the ones that I got so far. And what I'm thinking about getting more is the newest Doom game. Definitely some of the older games, like the dollar ones, because you can't beat that. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. It sounds like a crazy good deal for $4. Retail like $20. But I just don't know when I'm going to play that game, so I think I'm just going to have to pass, because I have no idea when I would play that game. Outlast, I already have that free on Xbox Live, or Xbox Gold account, so I'm fine there. The Quake series, maybe. Ikaruga, I already have it on Dreamcast. Psychonauts, I might get that game for free when I get Psychonauts VR, because if you get Psychonauts VR, it comes with Psychonauts code for free, so I think I'll pass on that. The Bioshock series, so I'll say this: Bioshock series, the newest Doom game, maybe some of the old Doom games and old Quake games, and God, what's some other game I could get? God, the Batman games. Although I will note this, and this is what gave PC gaming a bad name for a little bit. Arkham Knight for PC was reportedly like super duper broken on PC. Like it was completely made for console gaming, and apparently when they ported it over to PC, they like didn't give a shit, and they were just and it was like broken to hell. So that's what some people like, really still haven't forgave PC gaming on, is the fact that some games that are made for console are broken on PC. So there is that to consider, but I'm sure it's fixed by now, or at least mostly fixed. But Arkham Asylum I heard works fine, so maybe I'll just get that game. Yeah, I'll move on from there though. I have some tips and tricks, but I kind of went on for a while on Steam. But anyway, so basically, I'll just start off. Take it slow. You need time to play the games. There'll be other sales, so don't spend your entire wallet on Steam. There's 4 Steam sales throughout the year for each of the 4 seasons. Only buy games you think your PC can handle right now, because who the hell knows when you're getting your next PC, and when you do, maybe you hate that game by then. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't want to play that game anymore. So there's that to consider. So think about what kind of games you like and buy those games. Like, don't just buy the games everyone else is playing, because part of that is corporations brainwashing us. Like, I'm not like one of those people that thinks like 9/11 was caused by the United States government. I'm not like one of those conspiracy theorists, but I will say this. I do believe a lot of these games people buy are because of marketing alone. And a lot of pretty much here's the proof you need. Go to YouTube right now. If you've subscribe to a bunch of like well-known game people, and then look at your subscription feed on YouTube. Go to it right now. Go to your subscription feed on YouTube. Subscribe to a bunch of game people. A lot of them talk about the exact same things at the exact same time, and frankly, it's freaking annoying. And a lot of them should be actually ashamed for it. Like, they should be ashamed of themselves, because every once in a while, I'll do the same thing. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some people talking about Steam right now, but honestly, for a little while, I thought I was going to be the only person talking about it, because when I was searching Steam, I was searching it by the year as well, but apparently a lot of people aren't putting the year in. So once I deleted the year out of my search, I found a lot of people talking about Steam, but I'm just talking about an entire sale. Give me a break. So, like, a little while ago, everyone was talking about Prey. Or before that, everyone was talking about Mario Kart. Before that, everyone was talking about Zelda. and at the exact same time. Now, I understand people need to get views, but once you get to a certain threshold, once you get to a certain level of like, hey, I'm like freaking, I'm like, I'm Kind of Funny Games, I'm PewDiePie or something. Like, you create your own trends by then. At least I would hope you would. Like, you shouldn't feel like you have to talk about these things the exact same time everyone else is talking about it. Like, yeah, the game's coming out. Who cares? Like, talk about, like, I'm sure there was another game that came out recently that you could talk about that no one else is talking about. You know, it's fine every once in a while to talk about the games that everyone else is talking about. Like, I guess a lot of people really did want to talk about Zelda because it's their, favorite game that they're playing. I'm sure there is some of that going on. But like when everyone was talking about the newest Mario Kart game, are you, and pardon my language here, but are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Because the newest Mario Kart game on the Switch, I kid you not, it's the exact same game that came out for the Wii U. The exact same game. Plus the battle mode. Who cares? Honestly. Like, who cares? Like, if you really care on battling other people, like, freaking play Call of Duty. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah, it's kind of fun. But I don't understand why everyone and their mom had to talk about the newest Mario Kart. Like, oh, well, I got a review code, so I have to talk about it. Really? Do you have to talk about it? Who are you? How many subscribers do you have? Do you really think they're not going to give you any more review codes or whatever just because you didn't talk about the newest Mario Kart game that you just got or something? Like, I don't know, man. Sorry, but I just kind of went off on a tangent there. But anyway, so this is supposed to be a tips and tricks segment. But anyway, so I'm just trying to say corporations and other things they're trying to brainwash you into what games you want to play right now. Buy the games that you want to play. Maybe you don't like Call of Duty. Maybe you want to play freaking like Psychonauts or something. Maybe you want to play Dragon's Crown for the PS Vita or something. Play whatever the hell you want to play. Unless you are buying games to do Let's Plays with. Because that I will say, if you want to buy a game that other people are going to actually want to watch you play, then yeah, you are going to have to play the whole corporate marketing mind game with everyone else. Because people aren't tuning into Let's Plays for games that came out like 3 or 4 years ago. At least not usually, unless it's like Minecraft or something. People are going to want to watch the newest game, so there is that to consider. And some people only want to do Let's Plays now, so I understand. Sometimes there's timed sales, but that's I'm going down the list of my notes here. Sometimes there's timed sales in certain games in the Steam sale, but it doesn't look like that's happening right now. Maybe it is, but I didn't see it. I'll bring this up. If you think Steam sales are good, pay attention to humblebundle.com. That's HUMBLE and then bundle.com, BUNDLE.com. Because once a month, or maybe a couple times a month, there'll be these random like $1 sales. For $1, you get these 4 or 5 games or 3 games. For $5 more, you get these games, and those are usually like even more sought after games. And then for $15, not only do you get like say like the newest Doom game or Fallout 4 or whatever it is, or Assassin's Creed Black Flag or whatever it is, but you get all the other games with it at the exact same time. And these deals are incredible sometimes, and a lot of these deals they are not surpassed by Steam sales. So like some games, like I got the Stanley Parable. I should have listed that in one of the games to get. Get the Stanley Parable. I've been streaming that game. It came out several years ago, so I'm not being a hypocrite with the corporate mind game thing. But get the Stanley Parable. It's a really weird game. Anyway, so that was a Humble Bundle game. I got it for $1 a while back. It's now on sale for $3, but it's not going to be on Humble Bundle again anytime soon for at least another year or two or something. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe it'll be on sale in 6 months, but right now it's only $3. Yeah, just go ahead and pull the trigger. Actually, I went ahead and did the Humble Bundle deal on Stanley Parable a while back. Even though I already owned the other games in this Humble Bundle, and then I just gave those codes away to my friend. And I just told him I just wanted to get that Stanley Parable game and this like radio audio cassettes game. Because another nice thing about the Humble Bundle is sometimes it includes the soundtrack of the game for free. Like if you scroll down on the site, sometimes it even lists like, and it also comes with the soundtrack, which is pretty badass. So yeah, basically Stanley Parable is, your first person view. You're in an office, no one else is around, and there's like a narrator trying to predict what you're going to do in the game, and then he'll like change the story if you walk in a different direction. And there's like random things, like if you walk into this room, you'll get this alternate ending. If you go over here, you get this alternate ending. So there's tons of alternate endings. Like I said, if you go to my youtube.com/Virtual Robots Revolt and look under my Let's Plays, I have 2 or 3 videos on the Stanley Parable, and it's pretty interesting. I'm also on Twitch, twitch.com/Billy the Big Deal. Billy the Big Deal, one word. Twitch.com/Billy the Big Deal. So that's where I streamed these originally. And sometimes I stream on there. Sometimes I just stream on YouTubegaming.com, which is YouTube. So you'll see me stream either places. But if I stream on Twitch, I will definitely bring it over to YouTube as well, on a later date. But yeah, so anyway, so humblebundle.com, check that out, because if you missed this Steam sale for whatever reason, I'm sure there's some awesome deal going on in Humble Bundle at the exact same time that you're listening to the podcast here. Sometimes they even have Humble Bundles for software. Like right now, you can, for like $1, you can get like 3 or 4 versions of like Corel, which is kind of like a Photoshop competitor, along with some other audio programs, and it looks pretty neat. I almost got it, but I just don't know if I would ever use those, because whenever I'm trying to do like graphic design and stuff, I'm really trying to like enhance my abilities in the most sought after applications whenever I'm going and trying to look for new jobs or whatever. I want to make sure I tell them like, oh yeah, I'm badass in Photoshop, because they don't care if you say I'm badass in Corel. Like, oh well, we don't have the license for Corel. You're like, oh well, that's an issue. So I'm trying to like improve my capabilities on these specific programs. But by all means, if you're not trying to get a job in like graphic design or whatever, they don't care, then yeah, there's Corel. And audio programs I actually probably should do, because I'm using a free Audacity right now, so I bet one of these audio programs are probably even better than what I've got going on. So I'm going to check out Humble Bundle as soon as I'm done recording here. But anyway, so real quickly, switch to the next topic. I mean, I don't plan on ending the podcast anytime soon, but some new games I've been playing for the PSVR. So my previous podcast, I talked PSVR a ton. Like I said, I'm not getting paid for this shit, so don't worry about it. I didn't get paid for any of this. I'm just talking about what I like. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite on that corporate mind game thing I was bitching about earlier. But anyway, so I've been playing a lot of Farpoint. Farpoint is awesome. You have that aim controller, and you got the virtual reality headset on. And you stand in place, but like you can kind of duck and cover, and look around and shoot things. It's incredible. You don't know what you're missing until you try it. It's pretty awesome, and pretty cool that it's a PSVR exclusive. So it's a nice bonus for having a PSVR instead of having like an Oculus or Oculus Rift or HTC Vive. Star Trek Bridge Crew, that might actually be my favorite new PSVR game, or my favorite PSVR game now. Admittedly, I haven't played it for a few days, but that's just because I've just had so much stuff going on. But Yeah, Star Trek Bridge Crew. If you like Star Trek even remotely, you need to get this game, and you need to get virtual reality right now. So you play one of 4 roles. You can either play engineer, you can be at the helm, which is flying the ship, tactical, which is like, firing phasers and controlling and scanning anomalies, or it can be the captain. So engineer, helm, tactical, or captain. Each one has a lot of things to handle. Each one is important, even the captain, because the captain knows the objectives and nobody else does. The captain can even initiate a few other things. You can play in either the brand new starship called the Aegis, which is in the exact same universe as the newest Star Trek movies, like the J.J. Abrams universe. That's what it looks like exactly. Or you can play in the original Starship Enterprise, with that Mr. Spock and Captain Kirk were in. And that is actually my favorite because it's more complicated, and there's benefits and disadvantages to both ships. The older ship, the Starship Enterprise, is stronger, but the newer ship, you can like disable enemies' weapons. So that's the trade-off. But the older ship, you just had these random buttons, but you can turn on an overlay, and I have Let's Plays of this on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/virtualrobotsrevolt if you want to look at it more. One of them I even command the Starship Enterprise. I think it's like my second Let's Play. But anyway, so the older Starship Enterprise, you just had these random buttons, but you can turn on an overlay, thankfully, to see what you're doing. But it's really neat. It looks awesome. That's my favorite one to look at. But the newer Starship Enterprise, that's even really cool too. And that one you might even have more fun with because there's a little bit more stuff you can do in terms of like functionality of the ship, like being able to disable weapons or being able to steer a little better with more stuff to look at. So there's trade-offs to each. And one nice thing is since the VR headsets have built-in microphones, you can't play the game unless you talk to other people. So everyone's talking. It's super social. It's the best community I've seen online for a game ever. And I'm on record for that, ever. I've been playing online games ever since Age of Empires on the Zone platform. Does anybody remember that crap? Zone? That was like before Xbox Live. It was like Zone. That's what I used to play Age of Empires on, and I would get crushed instantly. Anyway, I just remembered Zone. I didn't write that down. That just popped into my head. I just remembered the name of that. But anyway, Anyway, so later they came up with the Zune music device, but I wonder if that's related. Anyway, so this is the best community I've seen yet because everyone's very nice to each other. It's cross play, so you can play it with other people that have a Vive or an Oculus Rift. Most people play with an Oculus Rift that have this game, I've noticed. But PSVR can play with all of them, which is great, and everyone plays together pretty much seamlessly. There were bugs at the beginning, but a lot of those have been ironed out already, and it's always looked good. You never get off the ship. You're always on the bridge. I will say that. You're always on the bridge. You're never getting off the ship. Hopefully they make sequels and you can get off the ship, and that would be awesome. I've been playing Polybius. I hyped that up last time. That's a lot of fun. It's a lot like kind of like Rez and Tempest, things like that. It's made by the same guy that made Tempest 2000. That's a really fun game. Not too much to say. It's just really fun. I mean, I will say Farpoint and Star Trek Crew are better, but of course Polybius was done for way less money, and it's cheaper too. So there's that. And it's a different type of game, so it's a lot of fun. I recommend it. And I've been playing a lot of Pinball FX VR again. Been playing a ton of that since I was building my virtual pinball machine. I got into Pinball FX VR, so I recommend that as well. So let's move on to stuff that I've been working on, the virtual pinball machine. So I got that going with like an old laptop and another old monitor. And yeah, so basically why I wanted to start it to begin with, because I saw when I was playing Pinball FX, I was playing on my computer. I saw they had a thing called cabinet support, and I was like, "What the hell is cabinet support?" And then I thought to myself, "Is this how people are building those virtual pinball machines?" Because I thought that was like a whole different thing, and I was like, "No." Yeah, there of course there's this whole other thing that you can use to like play like original tables and stuff, or like the older tables, but apparently Pinball FX, and that's like kind of like a, yeah, and they had that on for all the consoles as well, including like your iPhone and Android devices. It's the exact same game, so I recommend checking out anywhere. But it's like stuff that like you would not see in real life, like aliens coming out of the screen and stuff like that. So it's like crazy pinball. But you can make a cabinet, like an actual virtual pinball machine cabinet out of this. And what I mean by that is, yeah, you still have the screen. You can see the whole table on one monitor, but now on the other monitor, now you can put a back glass up there, kind of like a marquee back glass, but also the dot matrix display. So in like pinball machines ranging from the mid 80s to the 90s, they have these things called dot matrix displays, even like today. And it's right below the back glass or right on the back glass, and there's like even more to play on the game. Not only do you have the pinball table, but there's also like another game going on up there sometimes that says your scores. You can change through scenes and like play different events of the pinball table. So it's hard to explain until you see a pinball machine, but or know what I'm talking about. But basically, if you play Pinball FX, you'll see it in the top left-hand corner. Now, if you do cabinet support, then you can move that. They give you the ability to make it as big or as small as you want and move it to another monitor and have it on 3 different monitors if you want. And you have to email Pinball FX themselves, like Zen Studios themselves, say, yes, I want this. Like, it's not like an automatic thing. And they're going to reply back to you, can you please take a picture of your table, and they even told me, or just at least take a picture of a monitor that you're standing up vertically. I kid you not, that's what they told me. And this is like a real person I'm talking to. So I took a picture of like one of my monitors that was already vertical because I was playing it, a shoot 'em up game or a shooter game on the Dreamcast because I was already using it for that. So I took a picture of that, sent it to them. They sent me back a code, but I didn't even need it because they already activated my account. And now I can move around the back glass and the dot matrix display to whatever monitors I want. So now I can easily do it. And I got it going the other night, and I was having a lot of fun with it. So, but yeah, so now I plan making a lot more of that. But first, I need to finish up my retropie bartop arcade cabinet. And so I already got the retropie all set up, thankfully, because I had to finish that already just to get it for my sister and her boyfriend, and got it all working for them. And at the exact same time, I flashed the SD card I made for them and put it onto mine, and I reset mine because mine was broken the entire time. I just gave up on it, and now I fully got it working with my X arcade stick. I had to wire that up crazily with an Xbox 360 adapter, but I got it working. And now it's great. So I've been painting it and putting on like I got this like metallic looking poster board paper I put all over it. I'm trying to make it look like something out of Alien Isolation, just because I love that game so much, and the Alien movies as well. So I loved in the original Alien movie, exactly. I love the look of all the retro looking, like old computer monitors, like the green and black monitors, stuff like that. And I actually have a lot of those around me right now. I have Apple II machines, but I was already trying to do that for the bartop arcade machine anyway. And funny thing is, I actually got into Apple II mostly because I was looking at old green and black monitors anyway, because I really liked Alien Isolation. So Alien Isolation is actually one of the main reasons why I got into Apple II collecting and old computer collecting in general. So that just shows you how much I like Alien Isolation. It fueled my new crazy hobby, because right now I have 5 Apple II machines, and about 3 or 4 Mac SEs. I don't even know how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one of them's broken too, but I'm gonna harvest it for parts. So I have 3 working Apple II machine or Mac SE machines. One of them's an SE30. Yeah, and I even have a Timex personal computer donated to me by my awesome friend Seth. And yeah, I got that working a while back, and yeah, so I've just been retro computing and want my bartop arcade machine. I don't need it to look like an old computer because I have so many already, but I would like it to look like a prop. I would like it to look like a prop, at least from the movie. So I bought these. I went to Walmart today, and I bought these fish filter grates or whatever, fish tank lids that I'm gonna put on the side and put LEDs on behind it, because I've now figured out I can just cut the LEDs and just solder wires to each other and have them going everywhere I want, because now I know how to solder, thankfully, in the past few years. And I painted the basically like the beginning of the original Alien movie. You see like a picture of like LV-426, and and they're all like kind of eclipsing, and then Nostromo's following after him, going towards him. I painted that all on the marquee, and I put LEDs around it, and put these little alien figure guys in front of it. So that's kind of the craziness I got going on it, and even printed out the controller button maps for it and put that on the front of the machine so people can know what buttons to put. So later tonight, if I have time, it's already 11:20. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I think I'll do it tomorrow. I'll put these fish tank lids on the sides and put LEDs coming out of them, and hopefully it'll make it look like more of a prop from an Alien movie. And that's the ultimate goal. And I understand it looks completely amateur hour, but frankly, I don't give a shit. To put it bluntly, this is for me, and for me only, and for anybody else that would like to come over and play it. So, but yeah, and I've been making Apple II software for people again. I actually had to reteach myself how to do this again, because it's been a long time since I was playing with my Apple IIs, just because I've been getting so much new tech hardware, and new PSVR games, and been concentrating on a lot of personal stuff in my life as well. So I just kind of forgot how to do some of this Apple II stuff, so to be able to get new software off the internet for it, and even use like the stuff I already had. And I use something called ADT Pro. I went over a lot of this in my first episode of the podcast. If you care to hear more, it's the first episode. But yeah, so I kind of retaught myself how to do that, got some new disk images that work, and I made them for there's one famous YouTuber I made it for, and also I made it for another guy on a Apple II enthusiast group. He wanted a copy of Oregon Trail. So basically, I will say this: Oregon Trail was the main reason why people are contacting me. People want to get Oregon Trail on their Apple II machines, and I completely understand. Because when I got my Apple II machine, that was the first game I tested, because that is the game I remember the most playing on it. I think I played on Apple IIs before middle school, but I know definitely in middle school I played on Apple II machines. And I was in like remedial math in middle school, and for anybody that knows me personally, I went to Dory, and I think it was like Miss Williams' class or whatever. Dory Intermediate in Spring, Texas, and my middle school, they had like 3 or 4 Apple II machines randomly there, and they had a bunch of games on it. I think one of them was like kind of like Combat for the 2600. I actually used to play that a lot in the Intellivision, but it was called something else, I think. But they had something like that for the Apple II. I think they had some version of... They definitely had Space Invaders there. They had some version of Space Invaders on the Apple II. I might have played that the most, honestly. But they also had Oregon Trail, and that was the most fun one they had. And I think the reason why I would play the Space Invaders one is because somebody else would be playing Oregon Trail. I think that's what it was. and I had a lot of fun with that. I think I played those in elementary as well, but kind of blanking on where that was exactly. Yeah, I'm kind of just taking as much time as I want here because I didn't use up any hosting in the last few months. Or in the month of May, I think I did once in April. I recorded one podcast in April. But I didn't record anything in May. And I don't think I'm going to record another podcast for the rest of the month of June. Got a lot of personal stuff going on, so July will be the next podcast. So that's why I kind of let this podcast go on a little further because I paid for like a certain amount per month. I was like $15 a month. So if anybody would like to donate, anyway, so I paid for like $15 a month, and I'm getting like X amount of space per month, and I'm not even getting anywhere close to it. So I might actually scale it back because I'm really only recording like an hour a month right now. But hopefully I can get it down to a week, every week now, because now I have a brand new microphone, and I have more of a reason to record. And actually, in the future, I would love to get a co-host. I don't know if it would be like a permanent co-host, and the reason why a permanent co-host would be a problem is because I like to record whenever like the mood strikes. So if like right now, like the mood kind of just struck today randomly. So if I want to get a co-host, then it might be kind of hard to track them down. See, we'd have to line up our times. So if I get a co-host in the future, it's going to be like a just random occurrences. So there'll always be shows where it's just me, but I'm very, very much hoping in the future I can get some co-hosts on specific episodes that we would line up. But I know that'd be tough to line up our schedules, especially mine. But yeah, hopefully I can do that because I'll be the first one to admit I think probably some of the most fun podcasts are ones with co-hosts. So I'm not trying to just hog the spotlight here. I want to do them with the co-host. It's harder to line up schedules, and I need to find another person that wants to talk about the same topics I want to talk about. So, but I'm totally free to talk about stuff that I'm not interested in too. So yeah. So basically, hopefully you'll hear a new co-host very soon. To co-host at least some of the episodes. So I will talk about a little bit more here. So I just want to say I've been looking a lot more into what the collecting habits are going on right now. Of course, old console, retro gaming console stuff. Collecting is still going on there. I actually noticed some people getting out of the Virtual Boy collecting a little bit, and some people getting into it. So that's going on. So some people are starting to collect for it, and some people are getting out of it because, frankly, when people are done collecting all of the games for it, then they're done. So some people have gotten out of it as soon as they collected all of them, and some people are now getting into it because like they're interested in the whole. People are hearing the term VR a lot more, so people want to see what Nintendo's version of virtual reality was back in the day. So that's part of the reason why some people are getting into it. Plus it's just another one of those consoles for people to collect after they're done collecting other things. So Virtual Boy is a new one, or newer one. What else is, I didn't write down for older consoles, but I will say for new collecting, PSVR collecting is happening. A lot of people might not be realizing this, because people that play PSVR, a lot of them aren't retro gamers. So a lot of the retro gamers, they have no idea. They're probably completely oblivious to this, but there's a lot of PSVR games that come out now. Physical editions, they didn't make a crap load of them. They didn't. So Farpoint, for example, that game did just come out, so it will come out again more. But if you want to get the Farpoint bundle right now, I pre-ordered it on Amazon, and I have Amazon Prime, so I got it for $60. I pre-ordered it like in March or something, and came out in April or May. It came out in May. So now if you want to get Farpoint, go look on eBay right now. I'm pretty sure it's still at like around $150. So I should have got two and sold one of them. So PSVR collecting is happening. A lot of people just want to get it because I think they think it's getting rare now, or they're going to be making more of them. So don't worry about it. You'll get it. Don't worry. Do not pay those asking prices. Another one was Robinson the Journey. I think there's more of those now, but for a while that game was getting hard to find. They made a bit of them, a good amount of them, like right at the beginning, and then they stopped making them. But now that game's, I think you see it more now. But Robinson the Journey, it's still probably harder, a little bit of a harder one to find. Job Simulator is probably going to be hard to find in the future, even though I already own it digitally, so I'm just going to say screw it to that. But you might want to pick that up because it's a later release that people already own, so there's probably not going to be too many people buying it. That's what I'm getting at. So you might want to look at Job Simulator. Res Infinite, you can buy that still. I checked into this earlier today. You can still buy a physical edition of that on iam8bit.com. So IAM 8, the number 8, and then bit, bit.com. iam8bit. iam8bit.com. You can still buy the physical edition of Res Infinite on there. It's $40, but you cannot find it anywhere else. That is exclusive to that website. And when you get it, I think they will even send you separately a holographic cover for it, and that's what they did for mine. I had to open mine even though I already purchased it digitally. Even though I pre-ordered it before I even had a PSVR, but that's another story. The disc was loose, so I still had to open it just because I couldn't bear the thought of that disc getting scratched for all time in there. So I had to open it up just to secure the disc. But good thing I'd opened it up, because now that I opened it up, then I could put in that nice holographic cover, and it looks even nicer on my shelf. So screw it. I'll never sell it, so who cares? There's another one. A lot of the launch games, I don't think those are going to be too rare. But basically, I think later release PSVR games now. Probably not Star Trek Bridge Crew. Everyone's got that now, I think, probably. But a lot of the later release PSVR games that are getting physical editions that aren't named Star Trek or maybe Farpoint, I think those are going to be very rare in the future. And I've even had more than one person randomly tell me this. Yeah, I'm trying to get a complete set of PSVR games. So that is happening because it's kind of doable. It's actually more than kind of doable. I think I've done it accidentally, or almost did it accidentally, because I just want all the PSVR games. But I'm kind of out of it just because there's so many cool PSVR games out there that are digital only. So that's part of the problem. Like, I'm just like, whatever. I do have a really nice collection of PSVR games, but there's not a physical edition of Polybius, for example. So, who cares then? So, but I've kind of already done it accidentally. Plus minus one or two games. Not here, minus 2 games, I guess. But so PSVR collecting is happening. So if you're interested in new collecting, it's that. PS4 collecting is happening a little bit, but not really. You have places like limited run games that are making PS4 limited run games, and so those are already going to get hard to find. There's tons of PS4 games all over the freaking place for whatever freaking game you could possibly even dream of. So PS4 collecting is going to get even harder than Nintendo Wii collecting probably. Or Xbox 360 or PS3 collecting. So it's happening, but who knows? Who knows what that's going to be like. Xbox One collecting, that might actually pick up because some of your Xbox One games are going to get a little future-proofed with the Xbox One X. Now, some of that is happening at the PS4 Pro, especially with the boost mode and stuff. The Xbox One X is taking a little bit further. So, say we're talking 10 years from now. 10 years from now, the PS4 Pro, that's probably going to be the most advanced system they have. PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. So they're going to want to get the best edition of Grand Theft Auto on a console. They might lean towards the Xbox One version of it, because if they get the Xbox One X at that point, they're going to get the better experience, because theirs is going to be completely unlocked to run at like 60 frames a second and all that stuff. So I think this is not the case right now. I think PS4 games are worth a little bit more, but I think once that Xbox One X gets launched and more people start getting this and it goes on sale and stuff, these games are going to be superior on the Xbox One for the most part, or at least I believe so. So I think some of these Xbox One games might, and another thing, I don't think Xbox One gets as many releases as PS4 does, so it might even become easier than that. So mark my words, I think Xbox One collecting might actually happen, and PS4 collecting might be a little bit less. It might be the difference between original Xbox and PS2 collecting. Like, a lot of people like to get the original Xbox version because it's the more advanced version than the PS2 version, but that was the complete opposite. This generation's weird because PS4 was more powerful up until this Xbox One X came out, or is coming out. So it's like gonna flip-flop again. So it's really weird. So we'll see how this works out once the system is actually released and how it's actually unlocking these older games, because I'm really curious how they're doing it. Yeah, and I didn't really talk too much about E3, but I am talking about the Xbox One X, so I can't wait to play Cuphead. That's coming out. I will say that. But anyway, that's an Xbox One exclusive, but PC as well. So I recommend getting it on the PC via the Xbox One Play Anywhere initiative, so you can play it on your PC or Xbox One. But when you do it that way, you have to buy it digitally. So you can't just buy a random console version of like Gears of War 4, for example, and expect to play it on your PC. It's not going to work that way, because I thought it was going to work that way, and then I was like, oh crap, now I can't play Gears of War 4 on my PC. So I should have bought it digitally. It's weird. It's weird stuff. But yeah. So that's pretty much all I got today. I went over a crap load of stuff. I'm probably going to lose my voice after this. At least it was recorded into a new microphone. Hopefully I've been picking up my broadcast here. And I hope to get this online soon, although it's going to take a little bit longer since I made this go so long. It's like an hour and 12 minutes now. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope to have another broadcast here. I got some, a lot of stuff going on personally that I might talk about later, but I got that stuff going on, so it's going to be some time before I record the next one, hopefully in the month of July. No promises, but yeah, I'm hoping to do one, in the early month of July. So until then, I will still be on YouTube and stuff, so I will be around, as well as all my sites. And make sure to go to virtualrobotsrevolt.com. So I am building up that. That is one of my major priorities right now, is building up that website. And if you'd like to write anything for it or have any suggestions, email me at virtualrobotsrevolt@gmail.com, or reach out to me on one of my social media platforms, and I'll get back to you. And thanks so much, and talk to you guys later. Peace.